welcome back to another episode of Hayes Homestead. If you watched the last video, thank you very much for watching, for your likes and your comments. In this week's video, we're going to hit the ground running because first job on the agenda before I crack on with the driveway and just waiting back on some quotes for some materials. Just got to chop up a tree because we're starting to run a bit low on the old firewood, and I don't want to have to be chopping it up a la minute, as a chef would say, when it starts getting really cold. So first job on the agenda today is get that cut up. You can probably see there's a little bit, like there's just this one last pile left of the fences from last week, which I will come back and collect because I've also got to get the gate that I didn't pick up with the tractor, so that will also probably be done while I wait for the materials to arrive. But yeah, we've got a fair bit of work to do this week, so let's crack on. So this tree on the left is the one that I want to cut down, and as you can see there is a branch on the right tree hanging on the tree itself, so hopefully that doesn't cause too much of an issue, but whatever, I will be out of the way anyway, so even if it does drag the tree over a little bit, I'm not in any danger, which is good. So what I'm doing is I'm hoping to fell the tree into this empty space just up here behind me where I slashed a few weeks ago, so it should be easy to come in with a trailer and clear it up now that I've gotten rid of all those fences, because it will be much easier for me to be able to get in and out of those gates and stuff because they were just unrealistic. Anyway, let's crack on because it's getting cold and I need firewood. So we've done all the small branches, we're now down to the trunk of the tree. As you can see, I've got mechanical aid in because no one needs a hero with a broken back. I've got 2-ton slings on it, taking the weight of the trunk so I can actually feel that the weight is taken on the tines of the tractor. We're going to cut it about halfway, we're going to move the pieces out individually and cut them up over here near the trailer, and then we've got to get on to splitting because it's apparently going to be wet for the next 3 days and be useless if all this stuff got wet. So let's crack on with it. plan this morning had been to come out here and finish splitting the rest of that wood, but as you can probably tell by the weather, it has had other ideas. And these clouds behind me, I'm not sure if you can see there, but they're moving pretty quick, and the system that's coming in is enormous. It's going to route the driveway again, which is another reason why we've really got to get that done. Well, I guess it's an inside that, oh, just got massive raindrop in my eye then. Anyway, yeah, so let's probably spend a day inside. I'll do some cleaning up and whatnot, and then come out and finish it tomorrow. So the weather wasn't great yesterday, so I came out and did some measuring and marking so I can work out how much road base I'm going to need for this whole project, and I think I'll probably get it in a couple of loads, so I'm not holding on to too much at once. The first job though that we have to get done is to get rid of all the vegetation and stuff around, like weeds and saplings and whatnot that are just going to get in the way, and then we can start clearing and making a curb, proper drainage, so then we can have something to pour the aggregate up to and make sure that we contain the stone and not let it sort of fall out into the vegetation area, because we want to keep it contained. The problem is we don't want it washing away, which has already happened to the driveway, as you'll probably be able to see. So we don't want to cause any of these divots and for the stone to wash away. So a proper curb should really alleviate that, and we can get some weed mat down to stop the grass from growing through. So thankfully the rain has now actually stopped after 3 days of torrential, almost biblical type rain. Both dams in the very bottom have burst. There was a complete river flowing out of them and flowing into them. And again, up here next to the driveway, that dam also bursting. As water flowed in, it was flowing pretty much straight back out again. So we got a lot of water and it's made the ground very soggy. So just got to be careful where we go, careful in the ute where we drive. But back to business as usual, continuing where we left off. We've still got to clear up this mess, got to keep continuing to clear the vegetation around this area and start marking in the edges so we can get some timbers in, clear it out and start putting some gravel in, compacting it down, and you know, really getting this area sorted so we can start using it properly. So as you know, let's get on with it. The only thing left to do now is get the toys fired up, get this mess cleared out, because I want to get the tines off the tractor. I want to put the bucket back on so we can start scalping this area here, and obviously the driveway, so we are ready to accept the deliveries. I've ordered the timber, but it's still 2 weeks away, so well, I mean, there's still plenty to get on with in the meantime. But the view looks better, so can't argue with that. I apologise for the dark shadow over my eyes, but it's actually really bright here today despite being 10 degrees. So let's do something to keep us warm, eh? Let's crack on with it. So we've got it all cleared out. It's looking great, proper happy with that. Lay down area is starting to look really tidy. So next part up, we're going to get it all marked out, the edging, and fingers crossed we can start making some way on the digging part of it, trying to get it all a bit more level, I guess, although it is still quite a gradient. We've got a bit down at the gate to sort out because the gate actually sort of hits the ground as it kind of swings in. I don't know if it's because it's not level or whatever, but we'll have a look at that. We are going to replace the gate and the posts and we'll do all of that like entryway. So anyway, the first bit we really need to focus on is get the driveway, get a nice bit of drainage through a nice little culvert underneath the driveway, so it'll stop washing the front of the driveway out and leaving this like massive dip in the bit next to the road, because it's a pain. Lots of exciting stuff coming up, even though it's winter. Still doesn't mean we can't get things done. Catch you next time.